Hello, hello, good afternoon. It's Dr. Betty Changa, and as always, I'm here to tell you all, just to chat and we talk about some issues. And as always, I pick one key issue and then I talk about it. So today, I will be talking about an important topic, and that is how we can improve academic performance and excellence. Yes, we are teachers, we are lecturers, but at the end of the day, when we deliver, we expect good outcomes or excellent performance. So, the first thing I would like to talk about is we have to be passionate. We have to love what we are doing. I, for one, I love teaching, and that is I say it is my passionate. So any lecturer, any teacher, any educator, you have to ensure that you enjoy what you're doing. That is very important. And then after being passionate, we have to be patient. They say patience is a virtue, but not everyone has got it. However, when you are a teacher, a lecturer, this is one of the things you have or we have to practice. And then when we want that excellent performance, we need to set the goals. And these should be clear goals, or I should call them SMART goals or SMART objectives. We cannot teach or we cannot lecture without knowing what we are going to talk about. And then we need to be organized. How are we to be organized? We plan. You don't just go and start presenting to the students, oh, this is the topic of today and so on and so forth. No, we need to plan before we deliver. And when we plan or when we are organized, then we will be able to teach the students and they understand. This also brings me to, hey, we have to ensure that we know the source or we are aware of the availability of resources. We are going to be teaching students, yes. Where do you signpost them to do something? How about the materials which you are teaching? So, resources is very, very important, crucial. Then, relationship. Excellent relationship with our students. Academic relationship. Hey, when there is no relationship, it's very difficult for students to understand what we are teaching them. But when we bond, that means, hey, you'll be able to tell a student, this is this. And the student fully get it. Some students will say, oh, that lecturer, ah, but then when there is that good relationship, the student will be able to understand. Another thing which I always recommend is to know the names of the students. In the first week, in the second week, let us learn the names of the students. Students feel motivated when you call their names, especially during the time of questions, contribution in the class, discussions. It is so powerful to know the names of the students. I remember one time I had a class which had 120 students, but I had to learn their names, at least five a day. Yeah, so learning the names of the students is very crucial, and also providing them extra time. It's not to teach them in the class, okay, I have taught you, the lesson is finished, it was to be 1 hour, now it is done. No. When a student needs extra support, then create that time. We have got diverse students, and also we have got those with disabilities, different disabilities. They cannot get things on the first time you are teaching them. Some of them need you to repeat what you have taught so that they are able to understand and then read, and then they write their assignments. Communication, that is the key. Without communicating clearly to the students or to the colleagues, it will be difficult for them to understand. Let it be verbal, let it be written, attentive listening, all that is very crucial. So let us use all of them, not to use only one. Many of us tend to forget about attentive listening, yet attentive listening is where you understand your students. Have they understood? Ask questions. Yeah, so that is very crucial. Then collaboration with our fellow lecturers or teachers. We don't know everything. Sometimes consulting your colleague will help you to generate or to acquire new ideas. I've seen lecturers who come and ask, oh, how do you manage your class? There is no distraction or whatever, but in my class. So when you share, you come to help, support, or you get advice. So collaboration is very important. And then time management. Time management is not very easy, but yet when you plan, it is easy. I always give an example of a lecturer who comes to the class. Today you come late. The other day you come late. Another day you give different excuses. What do you think your students are going to do? They will also learn from you and then start to give those excuses. So being punctual is important. Professionalism, that one I've been repeating in most of the recordings I've done. Behavior. attitude. That also brings me to the policies and procedures of the organization. Do you read them? Do you understand them? Do you practice them? So we have to be practicing those, yeah, so that they don't affect the performance of our students or our performance. So we ensure that we behave in a proper manner using different methods of teaching. I always talk about this. It's not a matter of, oh, this is the slide, this is the PowerPoint, slide over slide today, tomorrow the same thing, another day. No, we mix discussions, peer discussion, um, um, role modeling, case studies. So when we mix this learning, students will be able to understand easily instead of looking at what you're talking about. But when they are together, then they discuss together. That will help them. So let us give them time. Technology is another one. Are we aware of what we are supposed to do in the class? Mostly, for example, using MS Teams. Do you know how to use the MS Teams properly? Do you know how to go to the breakout rooms and put students in that when they are online in the class? Are you able to operate the laptop without fidgeting or without problems? So all these we have to ensure that we know all this. And then networking. Network with others. For example, I have been teaching, or I teach in health and social care, but it doesn't stop me from networking with somebody who is teaching business. Hey, when you bring ideas together, then you are going to generate something new or to find new ways of teaching your students. I say do the work. Do we do the work? What do I mean? Do we teach? Do we deliver accordingly? Do we provide formative feedback? What about summative feedback? Do we mark in time? All this is to improve on the performance. And when we are teaching, do we encourage our students to get better grades? For example, I tell my students, I want you to get excellent, from excellent and above. That's one way of also motivating them. They say, oh, can we really get that? Yes, you can get it. But when you say, oh, you'll pass, then they will just pass, get low grades. But tell them about outstanding, exceptional, excellent, and then they will aim at that. And then the last one is to take care of our health. Although we are teaching, we're working hard, but let us get the breaks, not only for ourselves, but also for the students. They need the break. Yeah, I was talking about motivation. Motivation is in different ways. For example, when you tell the students, I tell my students and I say, oh, when you ask questions, when you answer the questions, then I'm going to let you, instead of going half past, I'll let you go 25 past. Then they get excited. That is also motivating them through that. And so that is when we do all what I have talked about, then we will experience or we will realize that better academic performance and excellence for students getting better grades. And thank you for listening to me. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.